don't have any special powers.
Oh, I have one, Johnny. I never give up.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site. Sorry, the DC fan site that I have plots, synopsis, and character bios for this issue. I mostly cover Marvel titles, so Marvel just came right out. We are continuing our run of Marshall Rogers' Batman run, and we're looking today at Detective Comics number 472. Now, I do have a playlist for Batman, so feel free to check that out. I've covered a lot of the Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams run on Batman. I've covered Jim Starlin's run on Batman, a little bit of the Norm Breyfogle run on Batman, Batman Year 2 by Todd McFarlane. So check that out. Detectives 472 is from 1977, and we've got this great cover here. The Batman is dead. Long live the new Batman. Terry Austin is inking this, and this is before Terry Austin goes with John Byrne to Uncanny X-Men. This is absolutely... Terry Austin is one of the best inkers out there. He's very precise, very detailed-oriented inker. And he fit perfectly with John Byrne and Marshall Rogers here, and I love this. You could be in a Superman movie. Details inside. Of course, they're referring to the Christopher Reeve Superman movie, the best Superman movie of all time, and I have seen the new Superman movie. That one is good. I'm not gonna crap on it. I thought it was fun, and that's all you can ask for a movie, is just to be fun and entertain, and it absolutely did that. So I will not shit on the new Superman movie that came out a couple weeks ago. As of this recording, as I mentioned, it was enjoyable and I liked it. And so we get a little bit of the origin. Orphaned as a child, when a gunman murdered his parents, Bruce Wayne trained himself to wage a relentless war against crime. Masquerading by day as millionaire manabout, he prowls the nights to prey on the vermin of the underworld as the Dread Batman, created by Bob Kane. And so here we got three great vertical panels here, and some screen tone being applied here. And so we start here with Batman. I know you can obviously see who's here. Before you stands the Batman, dread stalker of the shadows. Yet this is but a mask. Beneath the fearsome cowl is Bruce Wayne, rich playboy dabbler. And yet this too is a mask. And so you see that Hugo Strange is in there taking off the mask of Bruce Wayne here. For now, Professor Hugo Strange has replaced them. From this moment on, I am the Batman. And so, a bat tale like none before, brought to you by Steve Englehart, who is your writer. Marshall Rogers and Terry Austin are doing the art. Terry Austin, one of the best inkers ever. John Workman is doing the letters, and John Workman is absolutely one of my favorite letterers out there. Top three. He is my favorite, but then of course Tom Rzakowski and Kevin Kline are out there. He is a prose pro, and in a comic book that I am serializing, it is whose letter style I am emulating. So follow me on social media, as I will be publishing the comic book there. So we have the assistants here doing clapping here. You see clap clap Marvelous, Doctor. You did the two false voices perfectly. I never would have guessed. And Hugo Strange says, but of course, Magda, even the Batman has acknowledged my genius through clenched teeth. None but Hugo Strange could do what I have done. Was I not also Dr. Todd Hunter, who opened Great Towers Clinic to prey on wealthy fools, knowing full well that some dark night my schemes for power would draw the Batman as well? Every defense at my command, from my monsters to my serpents, was trained to strike at the sign of the bat. Sooner or later, he would have come to me and never leave. And so we are getting a bit of what happened, showing in the glass. That is beautifully done. Before we continue here, Marshall Rogers is definitely an inspiration for Todd McFarlane. And you will see a lot of Todd in Marshall, or perhaps a lot of Marshall in Todd, particularly how the cape is done. So Hugo Strange continues as he is just talking away. Then I would learn my greatest foe's greatest secret, but not even Hugo Strange could guess that the Batman was one of my wealthy fools. Bruce Wayne, suffering from radiation poisoning at the hands of Dr. Phosphorus. Certainly Bruce Wayne. Who would have believed it? It is as I told you, Magda. All those years in Europe, the Batman is also a genius at his art. But now we occupy his penthouse. We occupy both his lives. I shall plunder the Wayne Foundation for millions. Even as I send the Batman toward a lingering death, I have won our war. Nothing can stop me now. Oh, villains. They certainly do like to talk. And so here we see Alfred being being thrown into this vault here by one of Grey Malkin's Hugo Strange's minions here. And so you see Alfred kind of pick himself up here. And so Alfred is like, brigands, blackguards, I was going with you peacefully. And then he thinks here, they don't answer. Great mute beasts. No one has answered me since that strange bald man entered the penthouse with them. How did he obtain the special key? Where? Why, who's that lying in the shadows? I thought I was alone. And then he sees Bruce Wayne here, and he's surprised. He's barely breathing. What have these fiends done to him? Master Bruce, can you hear me? And so he's going to check on him, and he goes, no harm shall come to you, sir. I swear it. Oh, love that 70s, what would you say, verbosity. So we continue here, and now Hugo Strange is dressed as Bruce, watching a soap opera, and he canceled all his appointments, and then he is going to unload, and look at this, Roxxon, also used by Marvel. So, and so he's basically unloading stock, wants a check in the office ASAP, and of course he thinks here, no one questions Bruce Wayne, and with all the financiers who sought help at Grey Towers, needing the antidote to my monster serum, and forced to back my play, I'll bankrupt the foundation in 2 weeks, then live in luxury for the rest of my life. And so then he asks about Bruce and about Bruce and Alfred, and she tells him that he continues to care for him. And he says, good, he must be preserved until I have finished here. Then, oh my God, I forgot her name, but it'll come up. She makes an appearance here, didn't know that he was back. And of course, he's like, what the hell? And so he sees the key here, and he's like, what is her name? And so he says, I see the key I gave you works. And she says, that's right, just like last time. Sure. Well, but I really have to get back to work. I stand to close my biggest deal of my life. If I can raise the money in time, I'll call you on Saturday. How's that? And so Silver St. Cloud, there it is. That's not too good, Bruce. What's going on? And so he says, you are direct, aren't you? Well, to be equally blunt, I'm breaking it off. We're finished. And so he's bringing up with her, and then you see here the slap. This is beautiful panel here, a panel inside a panel. As she walks away, and she says, "I hope the next girl believes your playboy reputation instead of your lying eyes." And I love this panel. So you can see what McFarlane ends up being, and you can see how, um, oh my gosh, Marshall Rogers is, and here's some more screen tones being applied. Well, that was unpleasant, but it served its purpose. She won't bother me again. Wonder how many more keys Wayne gave out. So, and so Silver walks to the or goes to take a cab and gonna take her to the Great Towers Clinic, and she is sure that that's not Bruce Wayne. Love the panels here, the storytelling being done here, the legs going. I love these up down. What are they called? Worm's eye view. And that is really cool looking through here. That is just phenomenal storytelling here. And so she's like I said, she suspects that it's not him, and so she shows up here, and she gives her this is to portray an icy like good afternoon, like something. And so she tells Hugo Strange that she suspects, and he says, "You know what to do. In the meantime, accelerate my next phase of my scheme. I must take no risks now." And so at Hudson State University, which is upstate, it doesn't tell you what state, of course. And so there's a payphone there, and the guy's like, "Dick phone," meaning Dick Grayson, says hello, and she tells him that she suspects something. And so Robin can't tell her that he's Robin. So of course he downplays it and says, "Hey, Bruce is okay. He can take care of himself." And after they hang up, he's like suspects something, and so he goes, takes a look at the DG for Dick Grayson, and takes that little van, and of course he comes out. He is not Nightwing during this time, so he is still Robin. There's no Jason Todd. So he's a college student playing Robin, dressed like that. No, him is the one of those costumes where I do believe that uh, the new costume that they came out with with Tim Drake was much better. So, and so of course she goes, "That creep, he doesn't care about Bruce at all." And then another very McFarlane panel, and of course then here are those big monsters here. And so Bruce wakes up, and he says here, "Alfred, he drugged me, stole my identity." And Alfred says, "Yes, sir, that gypsy girl gave you an injection every 12 hours. There's nothing I can do to stop her with her monsters about. You must be building a tolerance." And Bruce says, "Got to get up, get out now. Did it before." And so he goes in there, but of course, there's now, oh my God, they put bars on the windows here. And so here he is counting the money, $7,600,000, all within 6 days. Thank God Wayne wasn't a garbage collector. No, but no, the Batman has altogether an exceptional man. He ruled the city by day as well as by night. It could not be otherwise. No one else could even touch the hem of my garment. He was irreplaceable. Ha! I could almost succumb to that weakness, but that would be suicidal. When I'm finished with him, the Batman must die. To allow him to live with would be to invite certain doom. And so he tells these two to come with me. He's going to continue with his plan here. And so they drive here to this alley. So Hugo Strange is making an appearance at unknown location here. He's gonna give out Batman's secret identity, and he tells the there is a like a bulletproof vest, and he's showing himself, but they're all no they can't he can't see them, so that it's anonymous. And so he if they're interested in knowing the secret identity, he wants $100,000. And you see, this is Penguin and this is Joker, but I don't know who this is. I thought it was Two-Face, but there's like a balding and then hair here, so I don't think so. And I just don't know who this person is, just these two here. And so they throw in the $100,000, and he says, "All right, bidding will begin tomorrow at midnight, and the minimum bid is $1 million. Please plan your strategies careful. Why wait? I don't know." And he says, "Oh, by the way, the air has been you've been breathing is mixed with a chemical of my own invention. It is harmless, but my sensors will admit only those showing traces of it tomorrow. A word to the wise." And then he says, "Good night." And so of course he plans on killing Bruce Wayne. So when he gives them the identity and they find him, he'll already be dead. And so someone says, "Hold it right there, Hugo." And he goes, "Someone not playing by the rules," as he says, "Monsters attack." But you see the shooting here. Ah, okay, it was Rupert Thorne here. And so Hugo then has them Rupert Thorne has them take Hugo Strange here. And so he says, "Ugh, you're tough. We'll see how long it takes for you to tell me what I want to know." And so back there, Robin wakes up Alfred here, and he's like, "The girl was telling me the truth about this place. I've been prowling so long I was about to give up. How are you doing? How's Bruce?" And Alfred says, "They've kept him drugged for a week, but I'm looking after him. Good. Just hang on tight," says Robin. But it says here 2 minutes later. And so Robin looks like he makes an entrance here and attacks those big monsters. Here she comes with this big knife, but he tosses her away and continues fighting. And so the assistant's going to go up and inject Bruce Wayne with that monster serum. He comes in and Alfred stops her and she ends up injecting herself. And now she's going to become a monster. And then, of course, Robin shows up here and says that's the last of them here. And says if they're okay here. And Alfred says, "We are indeed. But the girl, as evil as she was, no one should suffer like that." And so she was going to lay it on Bruce, wasn't she? After what she and her boss have done, she deserves a taste of her own medicine. And wherever Hugo Strange is, I hope he's ready for more of the same. And so here we go now. He's in a sub-basement here in City Hall, and Rupert Thorne is beating the crap out of him. And he wants Batman's identity. And Hugo Strange says no. And they keep hitting him. He's going to talk. He keeps saying no. And he's like, "I learned the secret of the century. Such treasure must be earned, Thorne. I will never give it up." And so they go back to beating him up. "Are you going to do it?" And he's like, "No, I'll never tell." And they keep hitting him. And then Batman is too good for such as you, Thorne. I will never betray. And then he dies. And Thorne says, "He's dead, boss. Loyalty to his archenemy. That guy was nuts. You'd almost think he's the Batman." So 17 pages was sort of what it was back in the day. So here we go. And so in the next issue, The Penguin. Detective Comics 472. By Steve Englehart, Marshall Rogers, and Terry Austin. Beautiful art. Very 70s, so very typical of the 70s type of Batman adventure. Like and subscribe, and I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.